Hello guys, trust you're doing fantastic. Welcome to the basic communication and PC networking tutorial. In this video, we are going to be talking about the Cisco Packet Tracer. Now let's go straight without wasting much of our time. What is Cisco Packet Tracer? What is it all about? The Cisco Packet Tracer is a popular network simulation tool that aids network experts, students, or educators in designing, configuring, and troubleshooting networks in a secure visual setting. Now, let's look at the features of the Cisco Packet Tracer. It simulates a wide range of network devices such as routers, switches, servers, etc., as well as protocols including TCP/IP, OSPF, EIGRP, and a host of others. It offers a full range of networking tools such as ping, traceroute, debug, and Wireshark, which aids in troubleshooting network problems and improving network performance. Lastly, it enables multi-users to collaborate on the same network project simultaneously. Now let's look at the benefit of using Cisco Packet Tracer. 1. It minimizes the need for physical hardware. Secondly, it provides a safe and visual environment for network experimentation. 3. It enables quick and efficient network configuration and troubleshooting. It allows users to create and share network designs and scenarios. And lastly, it assists users to build and develop the essential network skills and knowledge they require. Now, let's talk about Cisco Packet Tracer download and installation. Now, for you to do this, just simply open the browser on your PC and type www.skillsforall.com. Let's go straight into our browser and do just that. Alright, so let's type this. So skillsforall.com. So this is where we are. So the next thing we need to do is, if you have an account, you just go in directly to log into your account. But if you don't have an account, we have to sign up for an account so that we can have access to download the Packet Tracer. So at this point, all we need to do is to click the login button. So for new users, if you don't have an account, all you need to do, come over to this point and let's sign up. Alright, so let's input few details. So which country? So just select the country where you are. So include a date of birth of your choice. So let's say this and this. So click on the continue button and then input your first name, input your email address, and input your password. Now, you need to understand the requirement for the password. It says at least 8 characters, a lower case letter, an uppercase letter, a number, at least one special character. All right, so you need to understand the requirement for the password. So it says confirm the password. All right, so everything is okay. So let's click on the create account. So this is pretty straightforward and easy. All right, successfully we have created an account. Okay, so tick the 2 boxes at the end of the agreement statement and then click on the accept and continue. All right, now you can see that you have signed in, you have logged in, you have created an account, and you are. So let's go to browse catalog. So before you get to this point, you have to click on the catalog. Now on the search catalog, all you need to do is type Cisco. This is the straightforward. Once you type Cisco, you're going to get these options. Now select the option that says get started with Cisco Packet Tracer. This is the option you need to click. This takes us straight to what we want. So click on it. Now if you're doing this in October 2023, I think this is the easiest way for you to do this. right? So you have the language of your choice. Mine is English. All right, so all we need to do is to click on this button that says get started. So click on it. All right, so you're going to see the first topic is going to be install Cisco Packet Tracer. So that's what we want. That's exactly what we want to do. So at this point, scroll down to the page. You're going to get a link. Now, this is the link. It says download Cisco Packet Tracer. Now, to obtain and install your copy of Cisco Packet Tracer, please follow the instruction from the link below. So click on this link. Now, it's going to present you with different options. So if you're using Mac OS, Ubuntu, or Windows, please select the one that best suits your PC. For mine, it's Windows, so I'm going to select Windows, okay? 64-bit. So this is mine. So I'm going to click on that, and then the downloading has started. So let's give it a little time for the whole process to complete. Right, you can see from the top of my screen, it's downloading, so it's going to take some time. So let's give it some time to download. All right, now that the Cisco Packet Tracer is done downloading, now you can see it downloaded straight into my download folder. So what we need to do at this moment is to install the Cisco Packet Tracer. So let's go straight and do that. So all you need to do is to double click on the setup file. So let's go. And then you're going to have this option asking you, do you want to allow this app? Of course, select on the yes button, and then you have this license agreement. So you have this option that says, I accept the agreement. So select the first one that says, I accept, and then click on the next button, next. So now it's going to give you a default directory where you should install the Cisco Packet Tracer, which is the drive C. For me, I don't have enough space on my drive C, so I usually choose a different directory to install most of my packages. So for you, if your case is different, if you have enough space, just go ahead and click on the next button. But for me, I'm going to choose a different directory. So I have a directory where I usually install my packages, which is called installed apps. That's for me. All right, so you can see the directory has changed to D, and the folder is install app, and you have the Cisco Packet Tracer setup. So the next thing I need to do is to click on the next button, and then it tells me, okay, shows me another option, next. Click on next, and then this option that creates a desktop shortcut, just take the first option, is okay. So I'm going to click, just leave it the way it is, the first option. Don't click the second option, it's not necessary. So click on the next button, and then it gives you the final button to install. So just click on the install button, and then this goes straightforward, very easy. So this is going to take some time. So once this is done, so you click on finish. So this is going to launch us directly to the Cisco Packet Tracer software. So you have these options that says, would you like to run multi-user when application starts? Always select the option yes. And then it's going to open up the Cisco Packet Tracer environment. And then for the next thing is going to ask you to sign in. So all you need to do, click on this icon that has a green background, which is skills for all, and click on it. Usually it's going to ask you for password, your email address, and your password. Don't forget the email address that was used to create this account and the password. So you're going to input the same credentials. Now make sure you do not forget. All right, so always select the remember me and then click on the login. And it's going to take you, now you see the message that says you have successfully logged into the Cisco Packet Tracer. You may close this tab, so just go ahead and close this tab, okay? And then this is the environment. So this is how simple to install your packet tracer. Now let me introduce you to the packet tracer environment. Now I'm going to show you the most important component that you need to design your network topology. Now this is the workspace where we're going to be doing most of the designs. And this workspace is nothing but the logical workspace. So we are on the logical workspace. So this is where we're going to be doing most of our designs. And then the other part, we have the physical environment, where you're going to be seeing the physical component. This is where you can have a realistic view of how those components are and the numbers of ports they have, different informations. All right. And then we also have this part, which is the simulation, which gives you a feel how data is being transported from one point to another within the network. So let's go back to the logical workspace. Now, this is where we're going to be doing most of 99% of our designs. So you have the main category, you have the network device. If you click on the network device, below it we have the subcategory. Now, the subcategory, if you click on the router, you're going to have the various specifications for the different routers. Now, if you click on the next, you have the switches. You're going to have the available switches and the spec. Then you have for ops as well, you have for wireless devices, you have all of the available devices and their spec. The same thing for security and as well as for the WAN emulation. So if you go over to the end devices, you're going to have subcategories as well. For the PC, where you have the end devices, you have the PC, laptop, server, and the rest of others. If you go over to the home, you have the available devices under the home. You have the Bluetooth speaker, you have the carbon dioxide detector, you have all of this. All right, so you have smart city, you have what the available component for smart cities and all of that. So you have this part. When you come to component, you have all of these. You have the board, you have the available devices for board, you have the actuators, you have the available components for actuators, you have the sensors, you have the available component for sensors. And then another important component that we're going to be using throughout our design is the connections. Now you need to make connections between devices. Okay, so it's very important to understand this part, to know this component, because these are nothing but cables, your connections. You need to connect these devices. So when you click on this icon that looks like a thunderbolt, you have connection, you have the available cables that you have under connections. Now you have the automatically chosen connection type. Now you choose this when you are not sure of the kind of cables you need to use to make your connections. So once you choose this option, it's going to help you automatically determine what cable you need to use depending on the type of devices you want to connect together. Because if you're connecting devices that operate on the same OSI model, there are specific cables you need to use, and the one that operate on different OSI model uses a specific kind of cable. All right, so we're going to be talking about that in a moment. And then you have your console cable, you have your copper straight through, you have your copper crossover, fiber phone, you have the coaxial, you have the serial DCE, you have the serial DTE, and the host of others. So this is basically the most important part or component that we're going to be using in this tutorial. And then also, if you come over to the top of the Cisco, just below the top menu, the main menu, below it you have some component that is going to be useful. This is to select a group of components. This is a kind of an inspection tool to zoom in and out. This is a delete tool to delete whatever you don't want. And this is nothing but a tool to help you resize. And then this is like a tool to help you place note, to write a note, drop some information. And this is nothing but a drawing tool that helps you to draw a line. You have a rectangle, you have ellipse, you have freeform, and this is a simple PDU. This is a packet data, you want to add a packet data to your network and you want to watch it transfer from one point to another. All right, so this is basically what you're going to be doing in Cisco Packet Tracer. Now let's take a very quick example. All right, let's talk about a simple basic cabling and connections. So you have another interesting cable, which is a copper straight through cable. Now the copper straight through cable has both ends with a Harrow J45 connector. Now we use the copper straight through cable to connect devices that are not similar. For example, we want to connect a PC to switch, we have to use copper straight through cable. If you want to connect your hub to router, we have to use the copper straight through cable. If you want to connect switch to router, we have to use the copper straight through cable. And then we have another cable known as the copper crossover cable. The copper crossover cable is similar to the copper straight through cable. It has both ends with the RJ45 connector. Now, this cable is actually used to connect devices that are the same. For example, we want to connect a PC to PC, we have to use the copper crossover cable. We want to connect up to up, we have to use the copper crossover cable. We want to connect switch to switch, we have to use the copper crossover cable. Now, let's carry out a simple connections like this, where we have a PC to PC connection. So in this case, let's go back to the packet tracer environment. We have the PC, which is the end device. Let's take one PC over here. Let's take another PC into the workspace. And then the first thing we need to do, we can change the name of this PC. All we need to do is to click this part where you have PC 0, and then change this to Peter. Click over this part where you have the PC 1, click on it, it gives you an option to change it to whatever name you want to change it to. So let's call this Christy. Right, so the next thing we need to do, we need to make connections between these two cables. Between these two PC, we need to make connections. So which cable are we going to use in this case? Since it's the same device, Peter's PC and Christy PC is the same device. This is PC. It's not PC and switch. It's PC. So it's the same. So in this case, we have to come to the connections. We have to search for copper crossover cable. So this is copper crossover cable. So click on it, go over to the first PC, click on it. It's going to display the different ports you have on this PC. So since we know that the copper crossover cable RJ45 connector, so it means we have to choose this one, and which is the fast Ethernet 0. We extend this connection to the other PC that belongs to Christy. Now we click on it, we're going to have different options. So which is the right port to connect this? It's going to be the RJ45 connector port, which is the fast Ethernet. So this is the right port we connect. So it means we have established this connection with the cable. It means that the connection is right, the cable is right, because you can see the triangle icon turns green, which means the connection is correct. So in this case, from this example that we have, we need to establish this connection. So we need to configure this IP address for these two PCs so that we can effectively communicate. Now, let me explain something to you. Now, no two devices can communicate if they don't have their IP address. So we need the IP address for these two systems to communicate. So the reason why we want to configure their IP address is because we want this system to be able to communicate with this other system. And that is only possible through the IP address. So once we know the IP address of these two systems, it means they can communicate. All right. So the IP address is very important for communication. So let's go over to, in order for you to configure the IP address for each of these PC, just click on the PC and then go over to the desktop option, click on IP configuration, then let's type the IPs 192.168.20.30. Then click anywhere outside this box, outside here around this box, is going to auto fill in the subnet max value, which is this. That's all you need to do. You don't need to type it yourself, so just close it, go over to Christie's PC. To do the same, go over to the desktop, click on IP configuration, and then the IP for Christie's PC is 192.168.20.333. Now, the same thing, it's going to auto fill in the subnet max value for you. Close it, and then that's all. So for we to check, verify if this connectivity, if the connection has been established. So let's check. All we need to do, let's try to send a message from Peter to Christy. Now click on the Peter's PC, go over to the command prompt, now type ping space the IP address of Christy, because we want to send a message to Christy. So it's going to be 192.168.20.33. Now press on the enter key or the return key. All right, so we're going to get this message. All right, it says that we sent 4 packets, we received 4 packets, nothing was lost. So it means the connectivity is correct. The message went through, and we also receive a feedback from Christy. So in this case, let's close it. Now, if you notice, we can't really see how this packet is being sent to Christy. We did not see the feedback that Christy gave to Peter. Now, there's a way we can see this using the simulation tool or function. So let me quickly do that. Now, in this case, let's appreciate how data is being sent between Peter and Christy. Now, come over to this part. Now, this part gives us the options to select a packet, a data that we want to send from Peter to Christy. Right, now click on it. Once you click on it, you come over, it sticks, you can take it over to the workspace. Now, since we want to send this packet from Peter to Christy, now click stick this data to Peter's PC. Now we have done that. Now we can see that it's stick, and then where do we want to send it to? We want to send it to Christy. So go over to Christy's PC and then stick it there, and then suddenly the data has disappeared. So that's fine. So the next thing we need to do, come over to this part, the lower part of the environment. Now you'll find simulation. Now click on it. Now you can see the simulation box environment open up. Now you can also view the nature of this packet. You can see the protocol is ICMP. Okay, if you click on it, you're going to get more information about this packet. You can see the layer, you can see different information. If you go to the outbound, you can see the source IP address, destination IP address, different information you can see about that packet. That's very cool. And then you can also show, let's show all and none. You can show all and none as well. You can also edit the filters. This can tell us which of the protocols you want to access for this data transmission or data communication. So let's select the ICMP. You can close it, and then now let's click on the play icon. Let's see how this message is going to be transferred to Christy. Now if you do that, you're going to see how the message moves, and you can see how Christy received the message, and also Christy also sent back a feedback, sent a feedback back to Peter, means the communication has been established. So this is a very interesting way to see how data moves from one point to another. So if you watch this video up to this point, thumbs up to yourself. Do well to subscribe, leave a comment, share, and like, so that other people might find this content very worthwhile as well. All right, so this is a very simple way to do this. On the second example, all right, so let's carry out a simple PC to switch connection. Let's see how this is going to work. All right, so all we need to do, go over to your end devices, click on PC, and then go over to your network devices, click on switch. Okay, you're going to have different spec, just choose any, and then go over to your end devices, select the PC, bring it over here. Now, the next thing we need to do, let's change this name. Let's call it Peter. Let's change this name. Let's call it Christy. Then let's change the name for the switch 0. Let's call it S1, which is switch 1. Now let's establish a connection between these components, okay? So we need to go to the connection icon, we click on it, and then we want to connect the PC to the switch. In this case, what cable are we going to use? Remember, PC and switch, they are not the same device. It's different device. So which cable are we supposed to use? So we have chosen the automatically chosen connections to help us connect this. And then we're going to do the same for the PC to switch. So we're going to use the copper straight through from PC, the fast Ethernet, then to the switch, we're going to use the fast Ethernet 02. All right, so if you give this some time, you're going to see how this is going to change from orange to green. Now, if you notice, what we did is the first connection from PC to the switch, we chose the automatically chosen connection type, and then that automatically select these options, fixed it by using the copper straight through, which means these devices are not the same. Now you can see what we did, and for the second connection, we chose the copper straight through. Then you can see that this option is correct. And so this is how connection is being done between similar devices and different devices. So at this point, if you have watched this video to this stage, then it means you have started your journey in networking. Make sure you pay close attention to the subsequent videos in this channel. Alright then, enjoy this video. Bye.